What's going on, boys and girls? Sergeant Ty here, or shall I say Sergeant Poopy in this situation. There you go. Now you guys see it's me. Now, I want to talk about something that I didn't directly answer last time around. And the question that I started off with is, what hero should I pick? Well, the last one is kind of a building block so you can kind of understand some aspects of the game. This one, I'm actually going to do a breakdown from positions 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The healing team, where my thoughts are where the healers should be, and which ones are filler agents. And again, this is all determined upon what luck you have. Whether you've drawn 30 Blanchets or whether you've drawn 30 Broms. Like, this is so this way, if you're working on your line 1, 2, or 3, or 4, you know what building blocks to build off of, if that makes sense. Now, we're going to talk about position 1. Position 1 is this one right here. Let me go ahead and pull these guys out so you can see. Position 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So position 1 is the number 1 person who's going to take the number 1 damage. So, without special effects or special attacks going on, like if you're attacking a mutant zombie, for instance, Harmon right here is going to take 3 of the 5 hits. So he needs to have the biggest damage mitigation possible. Now, these guys right here, Roland, Harmon, Bolton, and Enrique, are your number 1 people that should be in position 1 at any cost, all costs possible, because they have the highest damage mitigation. Now, keep in mind, Roland has the highest damage mitigation. Bolton has the highest damage mitigation. I believe then it's Harmon, Roland, and then Enrique. Let me pull up the Excel spreadsheet to double check. Okay, so bringing up the Excel spreadsheet and fixing it so this way it makes more sense. Bolton does need to be in the very top one. So if you actually have Bolton leveled up with the skills, he's at least gold, so that way you have the 5th skill and everything like that, and all the skills are maxed out. Bolton is going to have to be in that number 1 position. So Bolton has to be in, actually I could do it this way. Bolton needs to be in that front row spot. He can take, what was that, 43% max? Yeah, 43% weapon damage mitigation. So that is a huge number that you want. So I'm actually wrong. Enrique is 2nd, Harmon is 3rd, Roland is 4th. Now, you don't worry about Jesse. I think the numbers are way off there, obviously, since I don't have damage here. So, but those are the ones that you're going to want in your top row. That's going to be that number 1. Whoops. That's going to need to be in that first position right there. Now, if you don't have Bolton leveled up like me, I have Harmon leveled up, so I have Harmon there. If you have Enrique leveled up and you're that lucky, first of all, screw you. I love Enrique. I want him. So he needs to be in that position, or Roland. It's kind of up to you and what you guys want. Now, that's position. All right, small insert. This is after editing everything in. I want to put these in an order so you guys understand which one should be first. This is not faction bonus based. This is specifically based upon their individual skills. So we're not going to say this is position 1 in this kind of a situation. We're going to go from top down. So position 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this way you know which one should be in this position. So in spot 1, either Bolton should be first, Enrique 2nd, Harmon 3rd, Roland 4th. In this particular order. This is from mitigation damage percentages. Bolton is best, followed by Enrique, followed by Harmon, followed by Roland. Let's talk about position 2, where Brom is at right now. Coleman, Ehrman, Doris, Brom, Matthew, and Lunn. So Lunn right here. Or him. So it doesn't matter which one you have. It's a matter of which one you have leveled up. For me, it's Matthew. I have Matthew leveled up for, I think, 2 or 3 stars, something like that. So I have him in the number 2 position. The reason for that is he will take 2 of the 5 hits on like a mutant zombie. So he needs to still be able to mitigate quite a bit of damage to be able to last the battle. So that is what you're going to want in this position, is either Coleman, Ehrman, Doris, Brom, Matthew, or Lun. And yes, this is a lot of information quick, so I hope you have a pen and paper ready because, or be able to stop it real quick so you can change the lineup. This is what you're going to want for position number 2. Now, all right, let's talk about which order, chronologically, who should be in that number 2 spot. So let's start off here. I did double check my numbers across the board, and I was actually surprised that this was the case. However, I want to throw this out there. For that number 2 position, for the top mitigation damage is actually Jesse as a front row person, which actually caught me really off guard. Would I suggest putting your healer up front? Yeah, probably not a good idea, but it could actually be better because, like I've said, I have Matthew down here, and surprisingly enough, Jesse is actually better. Sorry about the bird screaming in the background. I hopefully got him calmed down. Anyways, this is the chronological order for the top 5 people, and we'll go into the rest of them in just a second, because there's a total of 6. So let me pull up Matthew real quick. Okay, so there's Matthew. So in mitigation percentages based upon skill, here's where who should fill that number 2 spot. Number 1 is either Jesse, followed by Lun, followed by Alyssa, followed by Irma, Suzuki Ren, then it should be followed by Matthew. And this is just based upon the percentages of their skills. This does not include their actual statistical numbers, so keep that in mind. I will probably make a revamp of this at a later point, but I just want to throw this out there that this is for number 2 position. Position number 3. Position 3 is this one up here. Now, this is subjective based upon what you have, your experience. We'll talk about luck towards the end because that plays a huge factor from what I've read. Now, position 3 is your first damage dealing spot. This is the ones where you're going to want Marlon, Benson, Ken, Roger, or Blanche in that position. Those are the 5 that I suggest in the number 3 position. That way they can get the damage out first, provided their luck is high enough. Again, I'll explain that in a minute. Now, let me set up 4 and 5 real quick. All right, so here is position number 4. This is my suggestion based upon the way the game gives a lot of Vindicators. Now, this position for number 4, I consider it a filler damage spot. But that's my thought process on it. I suggest Max, Baron, or Quinn in the number 4 position. Now, you could throw, like if you have Max really high leveled up, but you have a better frontline guy in position 1 and 2, you could put Max in the number 4 spot, but Max doesn't hit that hard, or Matthew doesn't hit that hard, so you're going to want to take that with a grain of salt. I don't suggest that. But we'll talk about position 4 and 5, or 3, 4, and 5 in just a little bit longer in just a second. But this is what I suggest in position 4. Max, Baron, and Quint. All 3 of those guys, and lady, are soft, but they hit hard if you have their skills up. So let me set up position 5 real quick, which is actually going to be real easy. Boom. Glende. He has to be in the number 5 spot. Reason being, you want Glende to hit absolutely last. As far as I know, from all the skills that I've read, from all the research that I've done, from all the testing I've done, all the thousands of diamonds of testing crews, Glende has to be last. The reason being is with Glende, his 5th skill, right here. If the target is killed by the hero's action, the hero will be able to attack once more, dealing 128 weapon damage because I only have him at 4 instead of 5. Now, I have seen it, and maybe it was a fluke, maybe it was a glitch, maybe it was an accident. I have seen it where he is attacked once, killed, hit the second one, killed it, and hit the third one. Didn't kill it, but hit the third one. He got 3 attacks in one go. Now, I think that was a glitch. However, it could be the way it's intended, as if it doesn't matter how many times he kills. If he kills all 5, he kills all 5 in one turn. We'll see as time goes on. I'll do some more testing with it. But as far as I know, Glenday is the only one that is a mandatory in the absolute 5th spot. Now, let's talk about the rest of them. I'm not going to pull them all up because it's just going to take too long. But if you have Rebecca, Quinn, Kea, Laurel, Duncan, Kelly, Suzuki, Ren, Natalie, Duke, Cloud, or Nate. Kate. Leveled up, those are what I consider filler heroes. So if you don't have a position or have one for number 3, or if you don't have one for number 4 or 5, which is very common, 4 and 5, that is where you're going to want to put those other ones. A lot of people love Rebecca. Don't get me wrong. I like Rebecca. Her snipe shot is absolutely phenomenal, and it hits like a freaking freight train. However, she doesn't hit the hardest, but a lot of people have her leveled up. So you can have her in the 4th or 5th spot. And yes, you can actually click and drag your heroes around. And just so little side tip, if you actually click on this, you can say how many heroes are in there. So like when I'm testing my lines in my clan, I'll ask people to send 1 hero. There we go. They can send this line to my rally so that way I can test my new line. Just so everybody kind of understands. So anyways, now the biggest thing that you're going to have an issue with when it comes to any kind of attack, and I kind of briefly talked about it, luck. Luck determines, from what I've read, luck determines who hits first. So like for instance, Glenda's is 440. If we go over to like Blanche, her luck is 462. So just 22 points higher than what I currently have, which means Blanche, as I squeak like a 13-year-old, Blanche will hit first over Glende, which is exactly what I want. I want Blanche to one-shot somebody on the other team first, or get him so low when Glende's turn comes up, he kills that one and hits another one, or kills that one and moves on to the 3rd. That's what I want. And that is something you're going to have to think about. So it doesn't matter exactly which position you have Glende and Blanche in. You could have her up here, you could have her up here, you could have Glende even up here, and Blanche all the way down here. It doesn't matter when it comes to the luck. Now, this kind of a setup isn't bad, but Blanche is going to still hit first. I personally want to see her hit first, so I try to keep it in my head. I kind of keep it in chronological order on 3s, 4, and 5. So that is something to kind of think about for yourself, is which one has better luck. So for me, I have this setup. So Blanche, Quinn, and Glende. So let's go over to Quinn real quick and see her luck. So it's 462. So when it comes to this 462, who's going to hit first, Quinn or Blanche? The answer is Blanche, because I have her in the 3rd position. It's by my choice to have her there. So that way I know Blanche is going to hit first, Quinn's going to do a massive damage to all the team, and then Glenda is going to come in for the kills. So that is something to think about, whether you're working on your 1st line, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. This is a good base. So this way you know which heroes need to go where. You need to figure out first, who's going in position 1? For me, it's Harmon. Who's going to go in position 2? That's going to be Matthew. I don't know why they always throw him in the back. But for me, it's Matthew. Who's going to go in number 3? That's going to be Blanche. Then it's going to be Quinn. And then it's going to be Glende. This is my main setup. And this is based upon luck. This is based upon skills. This is based upon the luck of the draw from the cards that I get. So, if you guys have any more questions, definitely put them down in the comments down below. I read every single one of them. I respond to every single one of them. And my next video, and I probably am going to make it today. We'll kind of see how life goes. But I'm going to talk about gear on the next video. It's such a long topic, and it's such a long thing to understand that I don't have enough time in this video. I could spend the next hour talking about it on top of what we've already done, but 90% of you would have clicked away by then. So I will come out with another video when it explains gear. Now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and don't forget to share this to either your Discord, share it to members of your team, stuff like that, so that way they can understand how to set up their lines better. If we ever become opponents, well, guess what? I want a good fight. That's why I'm not afraid to show this. A lot of people are like, don't do it. You're going to actually screw us over if we get a good clan that watches your videos, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. It's a game. It's a PvP game. I want everybody to have a fair chance because I spend the extra time to understand the dynamics of the game and explain it to people. I want everybody to understand it in a way that I do. So, if you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye for now.